Morning everyone. It is Wednesday, 7:20. On my way down to the shop. We've got a bit of a mix of weathers today. Carl's hunting. We've got blue skies to start and it looks very nice. Then we've got rain at about 1 till 3 and then we've got more sunshine. It's a bit of an on and off and on and whatnot today. I've got a bit of a weird day going on. I've got the electric company coming in today to change the meter in my workshop because apparently it's not right or reaching the end of its life and they want to get a new meter in there. So that's happening today. So I must phone the alarm company and deactivate the alarm later on, otherwise they'll be sending the police to my door when the alarm goes offline, which won't be funny and I'll probably get told off. I've got a couple of bits and bobs to sort out today with regards to vehicles and stuff. I have got the doctors at 11:30 today, so off to go and get bloods and stuff taken and chat with a doctor. I'm sure the first one of many. And then wifey is coming down to kind of babysit the unit while I've got to nip off to the doctors because obviously the electric guy can't be there on his own. So she's going to go down and keep an eye on the unit while he's working, make sure that that gets swapped over properly, and I must go and take a photo of the meter before I let him unpack it or demount it from the wall so I've got the right reading on it. But other than that, it's a cold, it's only 5 degrees. Cold, sunny, blue sky Wednesday, midweek, hump day as they call it. I didn't tell you actually, we fixed a cube. So this is kind of gospel for don't believe everything you read on the internet. Now, the cube stuff is quite hard to find because obviously it's an import and it's not available in this country and there's not many people that do maintenance on it and then post it online. But I found one video of a guy doing an auxiliary or fan belt, whichever way you want to call it, and I saw how he'd done it and whatnot, and it gave me the knowledge to be able to attack on mine and understand what was going on. But funny enough, he actually fitted the belt wrong and I copied it. The tensioner, you know, I was saying about the fact that it kind of pulls outwards and not inward, and yeah, so as tight as I'd managed to get wifey's belt, it was still squeaking on with the aircon on and power steering obviously using power. It was then putting a strain on the belt and it was squeaking even though it was new. So I took it to Rob and was just kind of like, it can't be that hard, it's an auxiliary belt, what the hell's going on? And what we basically figured out was that rather than the belt being like a triangle, so it went from the alternator pulley down to the aircon pulley, back to the crank and then back up, and the tensioner was kind of off to the right hand side at the top, that it wasn't like a normal triangle that you'd kind of see. The belt had to do like this funny U, and it was that U that the guy didn't do on the video that obviously meant the tensioner was pulling the belt taut and not pushing against it. And sure enough, Rob got it, figured it out, and no squeak. So that was very handy. Happy wifey, she's no longer driving a car that screams at her. But yeah, that was the fix. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. I followed somebody thinking, you know, one video, this guy, and he fitted it wrong, and then I did it wrong, and that's usually how it starts. But I would have got there in the end. I would have thought, looking at it, because I say it didn't make sense the way that the tensioner worked, and I'm sure nothing fell off, and I'm sure I didn't place anything or refit anything wrong. It just didn't add up in my head that the pull was one way and the belt seemed to tension the other. It didn't make sense. But hey, nobody's perfect, right? We all get things wrong. And that was mine. Completely balls that up. Right then guys, it's all go here. So we've got our Audi A6. These are the guys from across the way. They've just bought this and it was designed as a kind of get about car for passing your test, but there's too many electrical issues with it and it's been crashed at the front end, so we're going to get it ready for an MOT and then it's going to be passed off for sale. Right then guys, we've got Les's MG BGT in again, and he had a voltmeter to go in it, so on with the ignition. There's our little gauge, and it's on and off with the lights too. Brand new. Look at this little beauty. We've had this thing in before to do some bits and bobs too, but it's super clean. And he's loving life, isn't you, mate? Hey? Back to your teenage years. There we go. Right, cool, wicked. Right then, boys. I'm just going to point you at me at the minute because this thing's sign written, so I'm not going to show you that. But we have a tranny. Not that kind, this kind. So Pioneer Bluetooth, digital radio, USB, CarPlay, Android Auto. The guys needed something while they were driving around to be safe, and a phone kit was on the cards. One old Ford radio no longer being used. Now a nice Pioneer with face kit. Steering controls will work. Microphone at the top there, DAB aerial over there as standard, normal shot. That's it, good to go. See you in a bit. Right then dudes, end of play for Wednesday. Sorry, I forgot what day it was then. We are, Charlie's just picked up the range. Apparently the dealer's being a bit of an arse about the whole situation, so not helpful. But we can do a receipt obviously on her problem, and the good thing about videos, it was all documented yesterday how far I was knee deep in that range with it all taken apart and whatnot. But that's about it for today. The rain has just come in. Everything stinks of diesel. That bloody van. Everything stinks of diesel. I've just put, Harry next door, bless him, has given me some detergent to stick down on the ground, and I've just kind of brushed it round everywhere to try and make it spread and dilute or dissolve the diesel, remove the oil. I could have done without that today, that's for sure. Oh, right, tomorrow we've got Ducato coming in, a camper van, to having a Sony face kit, and Greg is coming down with his old Grand to have a radio fitted. Fun times. See you in the morning, everyone. Bye bye.
Early the next morning.
Morning, everyone. It's Wednesday. No, it's not. What am I on about? It's Thursday. Currently 7:44. This guy doesn't really know what he's doing, because he's a council worker and a genius at the same time, and we've got to guess where you're going because you don't know where your indicators are. What a penis!
Oh, yes I did! Oh, yes I did!
Anyway, yes, Thursday today. We've got Ducato camper van. It's having the 9-inch Sony today. We've got to hook up his reverse camera, I think, because he's got one on the vehicle, if I remember correctly, and it's on a standalone screen that just looks naff. If this, I've got so many Ducatos coming in, probably 4. And then this afternoon we've got an El Grand. He's already got his stereo in, but he came to me ages ago, couldn't get the steering controls working, and I directed him towards a local supplier. He's bought the right leads, so now we've got to pop the radio out, put everything in that's missing, like the steering controls, and get that working. Put it all back together. Grey day today. I think we're due a little spell of this for a couple of days. Got new phones coming tomorrow, guys. Excited for that one. Took your advice, by the way. Somebody mentioned it, that when we upgraded our phones and the new one was coming out, sure enough as shit, I took them back, got my refund, waited a month, S23's out, so we picked them up Friday, or I say pick them up, they get delivered Friday. And let me fill you in on the house news. So we discussed early this week about the kind of bringing the top of the ladder down a bit in order to make us saleable, that we could accept a lower offer on our house and get the chain moving. We had a basic word with the people, or our estate agent responsible for the people that we're buying from in Rawton, and said, look, you know, they're maxed out on mortgage, we've already got an offer in on yours, it's already accepted, the mortgage has been approved, we're ready to go, but obviously it's not viable for us at the price that we have to accept, because these people can't go any further. So the people we're buying from cannot move on price, because they need all of the offer that we've given for the Rawton house in the high street to be able to buy their new place in, I think it's Devizes, and the house in Devizes is in probate, so the person's died already and the house is empty, and I'm guessing they're selling the house to split the money up and give it to the family, kids, whatever, as inheritance. And they've basically point blank refused to budge on price at all. So the house that we put an offer in on Rawton is back on the market for sale. I think it's a bit of a silly move, if I'm honest, because they had, as we did when we sold our house the first time, we had a strong offer, we put in a strong offer, and shortly after that the market dropped. It took a down turn. So the house that we were buying, obviously the price will have changed on that, as did our house. So they were lucky in the fact that we had a mortgage offer high, we set our price high, and they were going to get paid quite some good money. Consequently, now they've put it back on the market for offers above whatever. They're not going to get that because the prices have changed. So it's a bit silly, really. So me and wife are looking again. So we found another one in Old Town, down near the hospital, one of the houses that we first went to look at back in the day. We found another one there that's not on the market yet, but we've got the little bit of secret information that the place is empty and going for sale. So our estate agent has been clever, and she's going to have a word with the people and see if she can get the keys, so we can have a little look round before it goes on the market and see if we like it. That's one option. Also, the whole move to Rawton was obviously for the girls' secondary school. We have found a bigger house than the Rawton one that we were looking at, the High Street one, with bigger land, bigger driveway. It's not onto a full-on main road, so obviously reversing in and out is going to be a problem. This house doesn't have that. It's fully detached, the garden is big, and it's at cheaper money. So we're going to go and have a look at that one too. So lots of stuff happening. Yeah, she is a bit, she doesn't want to let the high street one go just yet, because obviously she's hopeful that we'll sell our house and be able to move. But at the same time, I'm just a bit done with it, if you know what I mean. There were issues with the high street house that I didn't really like, and this one is different, and it doesn't have those issues. It's, you know, bigger, same kind of money, but a little bit cheaper. But there seems to be, the back garden's about the same size, nice and big. But the driveway is huge, and it comes onto like a normal road in a, you know, in a village, not so much like a main through road to other towns. So you're not reversing out onto a blind road with the risk of hitting traffic coming. So lots of things in the plan. I say lots of things in the plan, lots of ideas. The plan is no longer, the plan is just kind of gone up in the air, up in smoke, and we're still deciding on what we're doing. But we're now going to look at other houses, because yeah, it's a bit of a shit circumstances, but one, I'm not happy with the Wroughton house as it is. There's some issues that I don't like, and two, I'm not really happy about the way the estate agent has kind of dealt with this, if I'm completely honest. But anyway, off to work. I'm going to stop yapping. See you in a bit, everyone. Morning, dudes. Got our first one in, an Expedition 67 Fiat Ducato Citroen derivative van. Currently got that thing as a reverse camera, and this one was ordered with a radio, but unfortunately it never got built with a radio. So today we're putting in a Sony. It's having a big 875-inch Sony in here, single DIN chassis, pocket underneath, steering controls if it's got them, which it doesn't, but we have got the lead. And I'm going to try and get, so this was an afterthought as an apology for messing up his order, has got the reversing camera on it, but obviously a monitor. So I'm going to try and take this apart, find the leads for that, and then connect it into the Sony, so he's got it all in one place, which would be a lot nicer. Same as normal, going to put microphone on here. I'm not going to disturb the fan this time, and I'm going to try and utilize, because it has got a tin roof and it's already got an amplified aerial up there. So what I'm going to do is put a splitter on that and see if we can run dab out of it as well, give it a test and see if it works. And that's it. So auto trail today, little camper business. I'll crack on with this, and we got a Nissan Elgrand this afternoon. See you in a bit. Wabbit. Then dudes, that was fun. So had to do a bit of custom work on this one. Just turn that down a second. So I can't interrupt that camera lead because it's like a, although it's a park safe one, it's like a Citroen-y camera, and I haven't got the right lead for that. But what we've got, microphone obviously here in the center. We've not interrupted the blind this time. We've got our Sony in. Put it in gear, Alex. That'll well. Check the doors up. Yeah, that's good. So we've got a floating screen. USB's in the top box over there. We've got a reverse camera over there working. Now, this one obviously give them a bit better view because it's a 8.75-inch screen as opposed to a 7, which we were going to go for. But I've cut down the piano black fascia and made it fit over the standard trim fascia because it just looked a bit funky if we were going to do two kinds, and he's already got the piano black at the bottom, so I kind of wanted it to match. So a bit of custom work to get it to fit. I'm not going to tell you how it's held in. Engineering skills have been used, that's all you need to know. But he's in. We've got radio reception, DAB, all the bits and bobs that we need, and a nice big screen, so when he's got his CarPlay going or his Android Auto, it'll work and look lovely. And the black kind of matches in with the dash, it suits this one. I do like it. So I'm going to give him a little tinkle. Get him to come pick it up and have a look at it, make sure he's happy with it, make sure we don't hit a pole, that would suck. Here's your nice new stereo, and sorry about the dent in the back of your vehicle, my bad. But no, he's all done, he's all good. Need to get that sticky label off. But yeah, Fiat Ducato Edition 60, whatever it is, all done. See you in a bit. Right then guys, next in we've got this Elgrand. Excuse the beeping, car's in neutral, can't put it in park, so I've got to remove the fascia. So he's got his own Sony already fitted, but what we've basically got is a steering control lead is missing, so we've got new steering controls to put in. Take all this apart again, remove this, gear selector, all that, get the Sony out, wire in the steering controls. Easy one, so we'll get cracking on this. See you in a bit. Just off, just turn that down. So steering controls do work. There we go, this is the Bose system. But I've done it without using the amplified lead from In-Car Tech, which if you're interested is that one there. It still works, you've just got to watch the volume, it's a bit high. Obviously you can go to about 7 and it's booming. But there we go, this one is finished. ready to be picked up. See you in a bit. Right then, fellas, let's get the boy in. Oh, cold start. Oh dear.
During parking mode. Motion detection recording. Over 10 and. Event detection recording. 1. Occurred.
Oh, we need some takeaway tonight. What are we going to eat?
Continuous recording will now start. On your smartphone, connect to a Wi-Fi network whose name starts with ThinkWare. GPS connected.
Right, so we've had an update on lots of things. Let me get this buttoned up. House-wise, we've now got 4 new ones we've got to go see, which sound interesting. One of them, apparently the estate agent was extremely excited to get me to see it, so I don't know what that means, whether it means it's got a massive garden or a fire pit or something that I'm gonna love, but also sounding good. All the vehicles have gone for today. My van, little update, the insurance assessor has been out to the garage, the body shop, to look at it, and has basically said he is warranting the fact that the tow bar wasn't replaced because he's measured it and said that the tow bar has not moved. So I was like, well, I kind of understand that being a safety concern, but I'm going to get them to put it in writing that he is responsible if my tow bar comes off. That's down to him, not me. The guy also said we were discussing the state of my repair, and he said no, he said we're not happy with it, but what they should have done apparently was when they did the quote, they left on trade discounts, and the quote that they gave me, the cash in lieu settlement, was basically like a trade figure. It should never have been a final price, which is why it was so low. And he said what we should have done in hindsight, because of the van's condition, they're still claiming that there's previous accident damage on that vehicle, but obviously you know and I know that I dynamated the inside of that vehicle, so I've been inside all the quarter panels and there is no damage there. But anyway, he said we should never have done your repair. We should never have taken on your repair, because he said we would never have got it right because the vehicle has had previous accident damage, not repaired properly. That was his words. Because they've now messed with it and made it look like a dog's breakfast, apparently they're now responsible. So he has no choice but to return my vehicle back into the body shop system, strip out that side and make everything fit correctly. Okay, I don't think that means they're going to try and stitch me up and fill everything full of filler and get it all to line up that way. Obviously we will come across that. Furry's good at spotting things like that, so I'll be able to ask his opinion of it. But they're having my vehicle back in and they're going to repair that whole quarter panel, so that whole thing is going to change, which is interesting. So that's a little update. I'm done for today. Going to get packed up. Wifey wants me to bring takeaway home, so I'm going to go and find some food, and I will see you bright and early in the morning. Love you lots. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening. See you soon.